This is July 12th, 2021. This is Blessing, and Blessing's going to tell us what happened with her daughter, who's 13 years old and a high-functioning autistic. And you did say you think it came from vaccines?
Absolutely. She was developing normally. In fact, benchmarking ahead of schedule, was a very early talker. We have her on video at as young as 6 months saying things like, "Hi, Daddy." We have it on video. There's no way to refute that. She was just incredibly vivacious, always laughing, really happy, joyous, on the higher end of the learning curve. And at her well visits was always, functioning properly. And around the age of about 3, I would say 2.5, 3, she received a combination vaccine, which was the MMR and also a flu vaccine. And pretty much immediately she started draining from her nose. She started coughing up a very nasty wet mucus, a persistent cough that just never would go away. The doctor said it's probably allergies. But then we started noticing some cognitive shifts, mood shifts, and eventually at her Montessori, they said, "I think something's really going wrong with your daughter. We're not doctors, but possibly, something pretty severe." And she just really degenerated. She stopped talking. She stopped making eye contact. She stopped being joyous. She reverted to using sign language, which is something that we taught her before she could speak. And she was only communicating on a needs basis, and those needs were very basic, human basic needs, such as bathroom, food, or water. So, this was it.
What was she like when she came here?
When she came here, we'd done a considerable amount of work with her to recover her. So she did regain speech. She did regain, many of the facilities she didn't have. So she was, quote unquote, high functioning. However, pragmatically speaking, that's how psychiatrists categorize anything that has to do with social behavior. She was a bit awkward. The nuances of communication, the subtleties of communications kind of just went right past her. Difficulty getting along with girls who tend to be very catty and very emotionally attuned, and definitely was geared toward friendship with boys because they're more physical, and she didn't have a problem doing that. So she was starting to understand and decode those things, but it just wasn't very natural. You'd have to explain things.
She's now
about a month ago we came, and she had her first 10 pass. We were able to do 5 passes with her. We did the Patricia Kane protocol for autism and gut restoration. We did mini chelation, which is to remove the heavy metals that they receive in the vaccines. We also...
She got supplements too.
Yeah, some supplements as well.
And how's she done in that time?
And in that time, her ability to recall her vocabulary has increased significantly. Even her cousin, who is in medical school that, has a great relationship with her, was texting with her, and she said, "What's going on over there? Something's different." She had a sense of humor, and she understood things that normally she would send an emoji for because she was confused about. And she's made another friend. Her sense of humor has really peaked up, and her communication in general. And there's just a different essence of her. There is another layer of consciousness that she's gained or recovered that was absent, and it seems to be in this whole social dynamic. So it's just a treasure to be able to have that, and to see it happen in a month's time is a significant gain.
Thank you. I want to make a comment too about your daughter.
Yeah.
Her first visit to us, we had to pretty much hold her down to do an IV.
Oh, absolutely.
We didn't have to do that today.
No.
She volunteered her arm.
Yeah.
We had to stabilize it.
Yeah.
But she volunteered it, so she knew that there's been improvement.
Yeah.
And she made good eye contact with me, and she greeted me.
Yeah.
And there was very significant changes from the first visit.
And she actually looked forward to coming, where when the first visit was coming in, she knew there was a needle involved because she had become needle adverse. We had to have the special remedies, the Bach flower remedies, in order to give her tinctures to calm her nerves. And it took 3 of us to pin her down and get the IV in. And over this last month, you know, I've asked her, how do you feel? And, you know, do you notice a shift? And she said, absolutely. And she was talking to her brother, and I overheard her. And she says, you know, the thing that I did, Shannon, I'm going back to do it. And I would like you to be there. And so, I mean, she notices that it's good for her. And that is incredible, that you're not having to strap her down or do any of the things, you know, that would scare a child. And she's healing, and she's, you know, benefiting from it. And I'm just can't wait to see what she does with all of this.
Thank you. May I post this on YouTube?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Yep. Sit up, buddy, and look alive.
Today's date is September 23rd, 2021. This is Shadia, and that's her mom. And Mom, I have your permission to make a video.
Yep.
Thank you. And Shadia is on the spectrum. She came in with ADHD, and when we first saw her, we had to literally hog tie her for her to do an IV, right?
Yeah.
You were terrified, and we had to restrain you. What have you noticed with your ozone treatments, dear? What has it done for you?
It has done.
You're walking in the door now, and you're offering us your arm, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you're looking forward to your next treatment, is that correct?
Yeah.
And we don't have to hog tie you, correct?
Yeah.
We just can do the IV straight up.
Yeah.
How's your attention?
It's been well.
It's been well. And I will tell you something, dear. You're making incredible eye contact with me. I walked in the room, you smiled, and you gave me a hug spontaneously, right?
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen the first time you were here.
No.
So I'm ecstatic for you. And I'm making a video of you with your mom's permission because we'd like to be able to help other children like you. That okay with you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think what you're noticing is a lot more camera shyness right now than the actual effects, positive effects that she's had because of this treatment. So just know that her heart is beating fast because she's not accustomed to being on camera. She's shy. But sorry, may I ask you questions?
Yeah.
In terms of your attention span, how would you say, has it improved with the treatment?
Yes, it did.
Do you feel like you can focus more?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you can, say when you're reading a passage, whether it be in a book or a Bible, do you feel like you retain the information?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're able to repeat what you've heard versus where before you couldn't repeat?
Yeah.
Do you feel like your math skills have improved?
Yes.
Do you feel like your social relationships with other people have improved?
Yes.
Are you making more friends now?
Yeah.
And how does that feel?
Great.
Anything else you want to share?
No.
No. How about your sleep? Is your sleep improved?
Yes.
I know you're being shy. I know it's uncomfortable to be on film. But could you say a little bit more so people know how you feel inside as a person?
I feel great.
Well, I'll tell you, honey, your eyes lit up when I walked in the room. My heart soared. And then you just gave me a nice big hug. And that told me a lot. And I understand you're camera shy. Thank you so much for interviewing her for me.